right, you want to go to this year's Incarceration Festival. It is back at the Ohio State Reformatory. July 14th through the 16th, the Music and Tattoo Festival. Your 3-night festival, Slipknot, Pantera, Limp Bizkit are your headliners. Megadeth, Volbeat, Lamb of God, Bush. In This Moment, Flyleaf is back with Lacey Sturm, Crown the Empire, Coal Chamber, Hatebreed, Highly Suspect, Motionless in White, many, many, many more. I think Mushroom Head's playing, right? I got 3-day weekend passes for you, GA passes for the whole thing. Incarceration.com if you want details, but caller 10, these are yours. Good luck. I'll see you there. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
He's been called a waste of space before, but now it's official. Alan Cox.
To occupy the city.
On 100.7 WMMS.
I can get a 2 hours to midnight table set up there at Incarceration. Oh, that'd be a lot of fun. Ooh, what a good time. I got another $1,000 for you in a few minutes. About 4 or 5 to be precise, courtesy of the Buzzard bookie. So listen, about 30 past every hour, most of the day, you got a shot at $1,000. So the next one is on the way. Guardians avoid the sweep. They end up beating the Tigers by 1 run in Detroit. They lost both games in that doubleheader yesterday. Guardians now go to 10-9. 3-2 the final at Comerica Park. The Tigers are below 500 right now. So the Guardians will come back home to play the Miami Marlins, the first of 3. The weekend series will be 7:10 on Friday night. If you're not at a Cavs watch party Friday night, because they'll be in New York for Game 3 of their series, Guardians will be here at home against Miami. So 7:10, first pitch. That means right after we get out of here on Friday is when your Guardians pregame will begin. And you still got a little bit of time left. Are we halfway through the month yet? What's today?
19th.
The 19th?
More than halfway.
Yeah, I got about a week and a half left to use the promo code SHOWERS at CLE Clothing Company, and that'll get you 20% off whatever you want, no matter how often you use it this month. Use SHOWERS for 20% off. Well, I can't believe that it has been 25 years, but it has, in fact, been 25 years that Netflix has been mailing DVDs to people. And that is finally coming to an end. You know, we joke about, and you saw a lot of this on social media too, if you saw this announcement, people were like, oh, why are they still doing DVDs? A lot of people still have DVD players. A lot of people don't pay for streaming. There's a lot of people still rocking flip phones. A lot of people were still getting. Now, if you were one of the 12,000 followers on the Netflix DVD Twitter account, you were the first to learn about this. But DVD Netflix has announced that they will stop mailing DVDs to people. Netflix began, those of you who are around then, Netflix began as kind of a blockbuster killer, and that's eventually what it ended up doing. I think we all started out getting DVDs mailed to us from Netflix back in the day. They will mail their very last one out on September the 29th of this year. They will finally close up shop on mailing DVDs to people. I remember when I was in between jobs, between Chicago and Cleveland, and didn't have much going on, I was binging The Shield. That was one of the first shows I remember binging was I was getting The Shield mailed to me from Netflix. But they've been doing this for 25 years, and they're finishing that. And so, yeah, there are a lot of people laughing about it on social media, but there's still a lot of people who, obviously, they're not the only game in town anymore. I mean, there's plenty of ways that, and even if you don't need a ton of money now to subscribe to a Netflix or a streamer or whatever. You can get it with ads for $10 or whatever. But, there are people, in a weird way, physical media has kind of come full circle, where there are people who are like, screw it. I like watching DVDs. or I like having CDs. You know, it's weird that compact discs now are considered like old school. What I want to know is, whoever gets the last movie in the envelope, do they still have to send it back?
Good question.
If you're the person who gets whatever that is, that movie.
I think it would be like, just like with Best Buy. Like, if you know the Best Buy is closing and
You don't have to take it back.
I was going to say, do you take it back?
What do you mean Best Buy? You mean Blockbuster?
I'm sorry, Blockbuster. See,
Yeah.
it's been so long. But yeah, Blockbuster. If you...
You don't have to take stuff back to Best Buy. You bought it.
Correct. Well, I'm sure at some point they probably had some video rental, right?
No.
And
No.
what are they going to do? Are they going to donate the DVDs to like local libraries? What are they going to do?
Heck, sometimes the libraries
Good
go out of
luck,
business.
because libraries are getting all shut down too. So
For different reasons.
I was going to say, when people say they have a library card, I'm like, wow, you're a different type of person. Like, you're just a different breed. Because I don't know anybody in my adult life that has like a library card.
I have a library card.
I'm saying they might go and buy books, but like, I think it was you, Bill, who mentioned it. Like, when you go to like the Lakewood library, I'm like, wow, I haven't been in a library.
I haven't been in a long time, but it's, especially if you have kids, you go to the library.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, that's-
Something to do.
Then that's the thing.
We used to go, we used to live literally 3 houses away from the Ohio City branch of the Cleveland Public Library, and we were over there all the time.
I
And that was a pretty
And that-
hinky branch, too. I mean,
And I bet you libraries
When I
are
was in
probably
Fremont,
like,
I'd go to that branch too.
yeah.
is it just a place to get coffee now? Like, you go there, they probably have a Starbucks on the
No,
inside.
I would
no,
go and get books.
You go and read a book, or
Starbucks,
they have like
there's people-
children's areas
Or people who don't have home computers.
Yeah.
Dude, I used to piss people off in the library. Like,
You piss people off everywhere.
but especially the library.
Sniffing seats.
Well, I was a kid, and we didn't have much to do at home, so the library was like a mutual place where all my friends could meet up. So
It's like a smart mall.
sure, but like a lot of kids didn't have computers, so they would go on the computer there, and while we would wait, we would just run through the aisles and then make a lot of noise and gossip about people, and there were actually people in there like reading, and so they're like, "Can you shut the hell up?" And we're like,
When we first
You're
moved to
mean.
Lakewood, we lived right down the street from the main branch of the Lakewood Public Library, and my son would go there after school with his friend, and it was around Halloween, they had some fake blood, and they got their hands all
Oh,
bloody
wow.
and put
All over the books.
all over the stone in the front of the library.
They
'cause
defaced the face
yeah, they
of the
thought
library.
it would be funny to make it look like there's bloody
they didn't
handprints all
realize
over.
it was vandalism.
Yeah, they did not really, because I think he was 10.
Did you have
or
to pay for
11
cleanup
at that
or anything
point.
like that?
Oh, yes, I did.
Wow.
Yes, I did.
What did they overcharge you for that? You had to
It's
pay
like-
for power washing?
Yeah, it was like $400.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was
You're like, you're going to be working this off for a long time, homie.
Yes, we just caused a ruckus. Like, we would just be running through the is it called aisles or
The
like
stacks.
Yeah, whatever it is, stacks. We would be looking through like the magnifying glass. Like, we would
You'd be tearing up the microfiche.
what is that?
It's just old school library stuff.
Okay.
Let me give you some money here. It's $1,000 courtesy of the Buzzard Bookie. Your shot at $1,000 right now. Good luck.
This is your chance to bet with the Buzzard Bookie and win $1,000 now. Enter this nationwide keyword at WMMS.com. Win. That's win. Enter it now at WMMS.com.
Poundcake, are you ready to be happy?
Sure.
Now, are you
Sounds
ready
like
to be
it.
happy, or are you just saying you're ready to be happy?
I've been waiting to be happy for a really long time.
All right, well, then this will just be a little thing here. You were right, and I was wrong.
Amen. I love this. Why?
I might-
Destroying U.S. currency is absolutely illegal.
Okay.
Now, this to me,
wait.
everybody blew me up in the break. They said Poundcake is absolutely correct. It is technically illegal, technically punishable up to 10 years in prison. Now, this sounds to me like one of these laws that's on the books, but is impossible unless you're trying to deceive somebody with physical, like counterfeiting. Obviously, counterfeiting is, I didn't think burning money
Well, I
was
was gonna
illegal.
say all the currency in the world is accounted for. You would think if you had $1 million and you put it in a pile and set it on fire, that's $1 million. That's not like
Right,
accounted
but
for.
I just couldn't conceive of a situation in which someone who burned their own money would go to jail. If you're counterfeiting, yes. Somebody said
putting more money in there that's not accounted for.
Somebody said every dollar is quote unquote loaned to you with a percent of interest attached. Coin and paper currency is property of the Federal Reserve. So we're absolutely correct that it's illegal to burn money. Now, if I'm on the street and I'm burning a dollar bill and a cop walks up to me, he's probably going to be more mad about the fact that there's an open flame on the street than I'm burning a dollar bill. I would imagine any cop is going to be like, it's your burn, I don't care. But technically, illegal. Poundcake is right. In the United States, burning banknotes is prohibited under whatever this law is. Mutilation of national bank obligations is illegal.
At what limit, like, I'm sure burning a dollar is probably illegal, but you're not going to go to jail for it. I wonder, is it like a misdemeanor? After you burn $999, it's still a misdemeanor,
prove it, though?
and then a felony.
This is
like
what I'm saying.
$1,000.
It's one of these things that's on the books, but it's probably never enforced. I don't know how you would. Nobody's going to go to prison for 10 years for burning money.
Unless you're like on the internet doing it, maybe.
Or trying to deceive other people. If you're like defacing coins and selling them to people like that, I understand. But
when they say TV rots kids' brains, I'm sure they're right, but there are certain times where TV actually helps. I learned this because I was watching MTV's My Super Sweet 16, and they had a commercial where it was a bunch of girls scantily clad, and especially it was weird because they were 16, but they wore like really tight dresses, and they had a stack of like dollar bills, and they like lit it on fire, and they were just like dancing with the dollar bills burning. And I was like, ooh, I'm gonna do that. That looks fun. And I don't know if my brother said something or someone said something like, that's illegal. You can't just burn dollar bills. That's for TV. And I'm like, why can't you? And then they told me that it was federal. It's protected by the federal government.
Well, because somebody said you're also not allowed to draw on it, but that's a weird thing too, because we've all seen,
so bars.
George Washington with a mustache. So it's illegal to deface money to the point where it's unusable anymore. Like if you draw a mustache on Abe Lincoln, I mean, I guess he's already got one, but if you're filling in his mustache, so I guess again, I don't know how you would possibly. The Treasury Department is not going to come in and go, this one is defaced, this one is degraded.
Just if they see it, I'm sure.
But again, I wanted to get it out there. Devotion to accuracy on this program. Poundcake was correct, and I was 100% incorrect. I was wrong. I always like to give credit where credit is due, because we break Poundcake's balls all the time.
Poundcake could have got that Apple CarPlay to work on that Toyota
Probably
that you were renting.
Actually, no, because I didn't even know I had to update my phone to get mine to work. So, no, I probably couldn't.
I didn't have Apple CarPlay in my rental car.
You just didn't know how to work it.
You're so young and spry.
It had a black and white screen. That doesn't scream Apple CarPlay to me. A button would come up, a box button on the black and white screen. Would you like to start the menu? That's not Apple CarPlay booting up. No, Dex called us yesterday. He's like, some of those rental cars, they got all the bells and whistles. Others are stripped, and I had a stripped 4Runner because I just needed to get around.
I love when Cody is right about things through his Slumdog Millionaire.
Yes.
Super Sweet 16.
That's what I'm saying. Like sometimes,
I love that.
Sometimes I understand that these shows rot your brain, but in the process of that, there's things that you grab onto. And seeing that commercial, I mean, whatever marketing, plan that they had, it stuck with me because I remember those girls burning those dollar bills, and it looked fun. I was like, oh, they can burn money because they're rich. And I was like, I want to get to a place where I could burn money. And my brother's like, no. You can't burn money. That's illegal.
Your brother told you that.
I think
he spends money very carelessly.
Well, still.
Well, you can spend it however you want. You just can't burn it. You can.
In the metaphorical sense, you can.
Yeah,
burn it.
you can figuratively burn it.
Meanwhile, I've stood at a gas station and spent $200 on rippers. That's totally legal.
Rippers.
Whatever.
No,
Call them whatever you want.
Cardboard crack, is that the same thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Around here, rippers are a whole different.
Tabs, pop tabs, rippers.
Oh.
Cardboard crack, whatever you call it. Totally legal. If I want to take that same $200, light it on fire, I could go to jail. Doesn't seem fair.
Anyway, there you go.
Thanks,
yeah,
Alan.
and that's what. Listen, like I said, credit where credit's due, and that's why you're really bobbing and weaving with Cody because I think and as long as he's been on the show now, it's one of my biggest flaws here on this program, is that there's a part of my brain that when he says something that sounds ridiculous, I assume it is. And that's unfair because he's right a lot. It's not like he gets lucky 1 in 100 times, right? He'll whip something out, and I got egg on my face like, you can't burn money.
But what was it like earlier this week where he was just making things up?
Well, that's where it's weird with him.
Wednesday, what did I make up?
That's why it's weird, because you
never know.
Yeah, the truth is dead, man. I mean, who knows what's going
matters.
on?
Mary
It's
said it.
all
I
fake news.
You can watch it right now on YouTube. Nothing matters. Mary Santora.
The scene in The Dark Knight where the Joker burnt the money. That's why Batman was after him. Right, that huge
He didn't even know that he was
pile
doing
of
that.
money.
But that was a bad thing to do. Bad Joker.
Uh-huh.
He did a couple
Bad Joker.
But then it's funny that you think about, because there's money that might as well be burned. Like if a cartel or something has it.
Our tax dollars.
Well, I'm saying that could be accounted for. But think about all the drug money that these people only deal in cash, and the economy never really sees it because it's like it's in a warehouse somewhere and it's just stacks of cash.
Not in circulation.
Yeah. So that's weird.
It is weird, Poundcake.
Alan, last time I was in a library, I had to take a whiz, went in the bathroom, and there were 3 hobos bathing in the sink. A real live hobo.
Did they have bindles?
Mm-hmm.
Were they in the same sink? Or
beans out of a can?
Yeah.
did they each have a sink? Yeah. How about when an amusement park flattens a penny?
Oh, because you can't spend that
But
anymore.
those are old pennies.
But also,
doesn't matter.
But aren't
They're
they
not in circulation anymore.
But yeah, they're like either decommissioned or they're just made to look like pennies. Like they're not legal tender, right?
You can put 50 cents and a penny out of your pocket into one of those machines and make them.
Oh, you
Yeah.
can. Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
I see. Like on the Ohio Turnpike, you can pull over and walk into the.
Interesting.
All right, I'm going to break here. If you want to send a text for something, 35192 to get me there. AlanCoxShow.com. You can watch, and we'll be back.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.